Hey guys, welcome to the Life of Leland podcast. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these, so I really apologize. I'll get to why I haven't been doing that in a minute. But I just want to say I'm really happy to be back doing this. It took about maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks off. I'm just noticing, looking at myself, that one of my eyes is more open than the other, and that's really freaking me out. So hopefully that doesn't freak you out as the viewing audience. But anyway, regardless, there's nothing I can do about that right now, so I'll just be chilling. I'm outside of my patio in beautiful Central Florida, where I live. I live just outside of Orlando now. Thank you once again for tuning into Life of Leland podcast. It's part of the Facer Podcasting Network. We got great shows like Brinking Free. The other show, which I almost forgot the name of, is Podcast from a Shower, the podcast that started it all. I'll be getting going on all those again pretty soon. Like I said, though, it's been a while since I've been able to do that, and it's not really for any specific reason. I guess maybe it is kind of. I'll just kind of get into this right now. This podcast isn't going to be nearly as funny as the other ones. Not to say the other ones were funny, but I hope you think they were. I'll kind of just talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. By the way, I wrote this blog last week about what I want from life, and I put it up on Medium. I pointed the wrong way. I still pointed the wrong way. I put it up on Medium for you guys to read, and 11 of you did, so I appreciate those 11 of you that read my blog posts. I also gave you guys kind of a brief explanation as to why I haven't been doing this. You guys have been great. By the way, I'm doing all these cool things live. Boom, 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 boom. And that's kind of how I always pictured doing the show, was it being like kind of a live show. By the way, I'll try to not touch my nose as much as I am. With the coronavirus going on and whatnot. So I'll just keep that in mind. But anyway, I wanted to get into the reason why I haven't been doing the podcast as much. And it's because the last couple weeks have been hard for me. It's really no one else's fault but my own. It's really nobody's fault at all, but I haven't been taking as much control of my situation as I should. The reason is, and I'm not even going to try to make it sound like it's a dramatic thing. I have depression. I have pretty severe clinical depression. I've lived with it for quite a few years. I won't bore you guys with like the details of how much it's affected me. I'll just tell you, like, it has affected me quite a bit. It's affected nearly every aspect of my life. It's affected my relationships with significant others, my relationship with my family, relationship with friends to an extent, with coworkers, with bosses. It's a really hard thing to deal with. It's really hard to describe, even myself, as someone who has it. So I can't imagine how hard it would be for someone who doesn't have it to understand what it's like. It's tough. It's really hard. It just turns everything, like, it just makes sadness your default setting. And I guess that's really probably one of the only ways to describe it. Hopefully that didn't make a sound, but hopefully you guys didn't see that either. Anyway, I just got a message from somebody. But anyway, I'll keep figuring this out as we go along. But anyway, it's hard. A lot of times, like, I'll just, like, I think the way it's clear that I'm depressed is that it's just incredibly hard to get out of bed some days. It can take me hours to get the motivation to go out of bed, and a lot of times it's just because my bed no longer is comfortable anymore, so I'll try to find another place to lay down and enjoy a depression nap. But it's kind of the reason why. It stifles my creativity a lot, so I haven't really felt like being creative or doing podcasts or anything. It's kind of hard. It's hard to deal with. and it's hard for my family to deal with me. And I'm grateful for their support. I'm grateful for the support of my friends, the significant others who have chosen to deal with that. I'm grateful for a lot of people, and I think for the most part, like, I think people who have depression think there's a stigma. I don't know. I think they say that like that's the biggest problem with depression is the stigma that goes into it. It's probably real. I've probably come across people who nose touching. Sorry, who have come across me and have dealt with me when I've been really depressed, and I can tell it's hard for them to understand. So I appreciate them. Appreciate a lot of people. So I'm going to try to break out of my own funk. I'm going to try to be creative, to do this facer podcasting thing. This is really something that I'm passionate about, something that I look into new ways to doing this all the time. I figured out this badass new way to record myself. I can even do picture-in-picture as well. I don't have anything going right now on my other screen, so I would show you. But I mean, the fact that I can do this stuff is pretty cool. So that's an itch. There's no snot there, just so you know. By the way, one thing I can do really well that I always like, it's like a party trick of mine that I use to make new friends, is I show them how wide I can open my nostrils. So as you can see, pretty good girth there, wouldn't you say? And then like another cool party trick that I wish I had a quarter to do right now is I'll stuff a quarter up there. I can do it that way, so I'll just go right in there. And yeah, that always impresses people. And sometimes I'll just tell you guys a funny story. I remember one time when I was in high school, I stuffed a quarter in there, and I couldn't get it out. Like, it was a really worn quarter, so there wasn't like a lot of times. Like, I like to do it with a newer quarter because it kind of has this little ridge on the outside that you can kind of fingernail and get out there. But one time I stuck the quarter up my nose, and it was a really worn down quarter, so it didn't have that ridge to really grab onto, and it was stuck. And I probably did this a little bit to be funny too, or memorable, but I just looked over at my friends and I was like, oh my god, it's stuck! And so one of my friends ran to the custodian's office and grabbed a pair of pliers, and just to kind of keep the joke going, I pretended like I was, in trouble. I pretended like I was in a panic. So one of my friends held me down, and I pretended like I was having like a deal, like a moment. And my other friend got the pliers and dug in there and just yanked it out. And that was a really good high school memory. High school kind of sucked otherwise, but that was a good memory that day. I would definitely have done that. I would definitely do that again for sure. The other thing I want to talk about is this coronavirus. I mean, how crazy is that? Like, I think it's hard to really figure it out because, like, the threat is invisible. Like, I don't know anybody who has the coronavirus. I haven't seen anything in the coronavirus. It hasn't affected me personally, but it's affected the things around me, and I think that's like the thing that makes it really troubling, is how much it's disturbing day-to-day life. Like what with all the sports leagues. I went to Disney World the other day. That place was the saddest day of Disney World I've ever been to, because everybody just seemed like they were in such like a disappointed mood and like maybe a little anxious or whatever. It was actually pretty dead for a Saturday, which is kind of weird. I should have documented that, but I didn't. Sorry. Man, this coronavirus is weird though. I mean, it's weird how disruptive it is to everyday life, and that's the freaky thing. That's the thing that makes it so like alarming. It's like, what are we gonna do when we're confined to our homes? And I thought to myself, hey, if I get confined to my home, I'll just do some podcasting. And I mean, I'm not confined to my home yet. As far as I know, I still have to go to work tomorrow. But hey, if I don't have to go to work, not a big deal. I'll just stay home and work on this. So I don't think this kind of thing is transmittable as far as diseases go. So enjoy the content. It's going to be free. It's going to be mediocre, but it might get better. I think that would be a great slogan for the Facer Podcasting Network. It might get better. I think we'll actually do that, so that'll be fun. So anyway, that's a bit about me. I'll try to be smart, funny, consistent from now on. I haven't been any of those three things lately, and it's my own fault. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You can follow Facer Podcasting on all social media networks. Please like, subscribe, comment on the video, do whatever you want. Stay safe and wash your hands.